Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
So, Black people in Baton Rouge, Louisiana are going to be a lot safer, and I'm going to tell you why. So this particular story actually started in 2012, where wealthy white people wanted to have a separate school district for their children. Well, that was not successful, and in 2019, they got a ballot measure to try to separate the school district, but that didn't work. And so somebody came up with the bright idea of, well, why don't we just get a whole new town? We'll separate from the rest of Baton Rouge. And so recently, a Louisiana Supreme Court decided, well, you know what? We're going to acquiesce your demands. And in fact, it said it was a 4-3 decision. And so this is what was said about that. This is an historical and exciting day for the city of St. George citizens. St. George Transition District Chairman Norman Browning posted on Facebook, "I look forward to our ability to build an efficient, productive, and vibrant city while contributing to a thriving East Baton Rouge parish." So the name of the city is St. George. And so, again, it is going to be predominantly wealthy white people. Now, the NAACP has said this: the population of Old Jefferson, Shenandoah, and Inniswold, all East Baton Rouge Parish neighborhoods, which will be included in St. George, are at least 55% white, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. The NAACP Baton Rouge branch expressed concern over potential segregation and the unequal distribution of parish resources, as well as consequences for Baton Rouge's education system. So they're basically saying that the white people with the money, they're leaving, and the good resources that were given to all of them will probably go with them. And so I'm saying this. While that sounds like a horrible thing, as I said in the beginning, I think Black people are going to be a lot safer because, for one, when those white folks are off to themselves, then they're off to themselves, right? And they can go do what they need to do and don't worry about the rest of us. Now, as far as saying, well, those resources will probably go to them, unfortunately, that is probably true. But see, that's another case as to why we as Black people need to, as Marcus Garvey told us so many years ago, "Up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will." As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Do for self." Right? Now, I'm not saying we don't get our reparations. We still want our reparations, but we need to stop depending on everybody else. And I always say this too, especially in this day and age, do you want your children going to school with them? They're not teaching your children, right? Which is why I always have an issue with people getting mad. Oh, they don't want to teach African American studies in school. They ain't going to teach it, right? You think they're going to really tell them about the brutal horridness of slavery? No, they're not. They're going to clean it up and sanitize it and make it seem like it wasn't that bad. Do you really want that? Also, do you really want to be living all next door to them like that? They clearly don't want to live next door to you. Now, of course, they're saying, well, we're welcoming all to the table. That's a lie, because if you was welcoming them all to the table, you wouldn't have moved and split your town in the first place. And so, yeah, people are saying, oh, segregation. Segregation wasn't all that bad for us as Black people. Now, I want to leave off the Jim Crow, the lynchings and all that. Yeah, that stuff was bad. But as far as us being together, we had our own town. See, when we were segregated, you had a Black Wall Street, right? You had Slocums and your Rosewoods and your Allentowns. We had all those things. Black people were working together hand in hand. But when segregation ended, we wanted to go off and be with white people. We wanted to eat with white people, sleep with white people. We want to do everything with white people. And look where it's gotten us. It's gotten us nowhere as people. So those white people leaving to have their own town, let them. Good. Let them go do what they got to do. Now we need to go do what we got to do. No more excuses, right? Let them go. I mean, the NAACP, they're not really helpful to Black people. They're just not. Because you would think that the NAACP would be like, hey, you know what, black people? Bet. This is how we secure wealth. These are the things that we need to do. Stop voting for oppression. Because the NAACP, they're in bed with the Democratic Party. But see, they won't tell that side of the story. Instead, they want black people to soak in victimhood. And yes, we are victims of systemic and institutional racism, but sometimes we victims of the stuff that we do to ourselves. So listen, one thing I'm never going to do is cry that white people don't want to be next to me. I am not going to cry. In fact, I might throw a little party. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube.